Hello, hello, hello again. Bubba coming at you again. All right, gamers. So here we go. We're going to do the next episode of Terraformental. Let's see what we've got next. So we definitely need to take some water bottles. These are down to 1.6 seconds. Let's go ahead and take all three. And then we can extract water bottle. But we don't need to do that yet. Let's try and repair the main generator. That's down to 32 seconds. That saves us 8 seconds. I mean, that starts to add up when you start counting across all of these different things. So, oh, dilation. Time dilation? Huh, dilated total. Dilated remaining total. Huh, for a long action. Interesting. I think it means it would only take us 5 minutes, but it would really be 15 minutes in the game. I think that's what that means, to keep you from having to just sit there forever. Okay, a deep thrumming rumbles its way through the facilities. The main generator starts back up. Without needing to check, you know that the food synthesizer and ground floor door will be included among the systems automatically coming back online. Yep, here's where the hunger starts. Carbon filters fail. Now we've got countdowns to them because we've lived through it, so now we know how long it's going to take. So let's see. Lift lockdown. Definitely want to do that. That's where we can get some of the water, I think. Is that when we get it? Okay, you start to feel the cramping pangs of hunger in your belly. Good job, you've already restored main power, so getting food won't be an issue. That's right. All right, so we need to get some water pouches. So let's go ahead and get some of those, and we'll get food. And while that's doing that, I'll show you this new thing. So the ones in blue means they're persistent. Once we've done it, we don't have to do it again ever in another sequence. So it's basically where we hack it, we write down the code that we find it on in our PDA, it comes back with us and shows us the code, so we can just put it in the next time, and so it's instant instead of 3 minutes. So this is worth it instead of having to do all the other stuff. So I think we probably will do that, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and take the emergency suit. Okay, and let's go ahead and get stuff going so that we can get the pouches and all this stuff going. Let's go ahead and take the air. You don't have to worry about it yet, because the carbon filters don't fail for another 20 seconds. And then, I don't remember how long we'll have, but not forever. And then we need to try and make it to the first place. Okay. Right on time, you notice the air starts to smell increasingly foul, meaning that the carbon filters have failed. You're not concerned, since you are already wearing the emergency suit, but you may as well keep breathing the facility's air for as long as you can to conserve what's in your suit. Word. All right. So if we forced it, it's 36 seconds, but once we do this, then we don't have to worry about it again. So I think we'll do that, but first we need to go ahead and get our water. Let's go ahead and take water pouch, and then we'll do synthesized food, and then we're going to get the water bottles. We're going to get all this out of the way. Okay, and then we will put this on the end. And as things come up, we'll adjust. Okay, so this gives us almost 8 minutes. So it gives us, I think, 8 minutes or a little bit over at the very beginning. So that's fine. That'll be plenty. First thing that's going to run out is the water. Yeah, that extracted water does take a while compared to a pouch. But the nice thing is, we'll definitely need it for our trip. So we might as well go ahead and get it out of the way. Okay. This is going to take a little while, so what we'll do is pink, pink, get those done, keep these topped up as much as possible. So we'll do water pouch, synthesized food. Still going. About 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, we're going to need more of this. Okay, so we'll do another and another. That's the other nice thing. You quit one or whatever, it'll keep what progress you've made. So that's really handy too. All right, let's get this done and move on. All right, let's go. Moving, moving, moving. All right, so let's go ahead and get 2 more of these. 2 more of these. Halfway done. I do sometimes wish there was a way to say, like, do it till the end, or go in a little bit faster speed, but there's not. And that's okay. I guess that's part of the fun on incremental games, is it going faster and faster after you prestige. Let's go ahead and do a couple of water. Do a couple of food. And we still got 5 minutes of air. This is going to take almost a minute. But that's okay. This will be a one-time thing, so next time we don't even have to deal with it. And sure, 36 seconds isn't that big, but when we start having to go through these cycles a lot, 36 seconds adds up. You figure after what, 5 times, you're talking like 2.5 minutes. So that's a long time. Let's do water pouch again. Food. Getting the food down, aren't we? Almost half. That's fantastic. This one we're almost at half. Almost done. 9 seconds. See, if you just do it, all I can do is pause. Yep. Okay. There we go. You finally managed to crack the password to the administrator's office. You quickly save a copy to your PDA so you can just type it in the next time. Grateful that the small device seems to be looping with you, avoiding the need for you to memorize every detail yourself. You already know what's on the computer, but the stash of protein bars on the desk should come in handy. Yes, they will. So let's go ahead and grab those. I think we're getting quicker on that. Yep. And then we'll do water pouch, the food. We'll do the non-essential couplers, which I think I can do all of them now. Yep. And then the nice thing is we can just say, okay, afterwards we're going to do food and water. And then we'll repair. And that takes 36 seconds. So we can do food and water after that. And then we can take metal sheets. Oh, take metal sheets after that. And then it won't show us the other thing that we can repair the hull until we get at least one metal sheet. So we'll have to wait on the rest of it. But after taking the metal sheets, we can still do food and water again, just to keep topped off. That's why I like the queuing. It lets you just go ahead and put in the whole sequence for you to do it. So you're not just sitting around. And it does combine a lot of this later. As you saw, it did combine some of them already. It starts combining more and more as the game progresses. I do remember that part and liking it a lot. Okay. There we go. Okay. We'll get that. Repair the hull. We're going to do 5 more of these. Then we'll do food and water. We'll do the repair hull again. Do 5 more of these. And then do that. And then food and water. And I do remember it combining, like doing all the metal sheets and the repairing the hull all in one type thing. And I think maybe it does it once it gets down to a certain time frame to where it makes sense that it can do it all in one. Uh, okay, so we're doing that, repairing the hull. There we go. The rover hums to life around as you connect the final power coupler. Now you just need to use those metal plates in the workshop to repair the holes in the hull. Yes, we have done that. Okay. There we go. Repairing the hull. There we go. Take all that stuff. Vehicle travel. One new. Leaving rover. Yep. Okay, so we're going to say do everything up to the point. Okay, you check that the pressure gauge spins upwards as you seal the final hole in the hull. With the power systems repaired too, you're pretty much ready to go. Just make sure you're stocked enough resources before you leave. Yep. So we are stocked. We have full everything. So let's go. We're now going to follow the coordinates. And we will fill with air once we get down to that point. That's 38 seconds. This is okay, so we will not get to that point for at least the first following the coordinates. Okay. Going through. Done. All right, passing all the smaller support buildings and equipment gives you another chance to examine them all. You're increasingly certain that something just isn't right about them, but you can't figure out what it is. Maybe it'd be worth taking a closer look at them if you ever get the chance. For now, you have a more important target. Yes, we do. Let's move. What's our first thing we're going to run out of? Water in 4.5 minutes. I think we can reach the new place by then, I would hope. Okay, here goes our air now. So it tells how much we have in storage, how much in inventory. Each one of these does 2.5, so it's going to be down at 12.5 before it does it. Okay, here we go. Boom. Almost there. Boom. All right. A while after you leave the last of the support buildings behind, you start keeping an eye out for the next landmark. You're expecting the derelict rover. Right on cue, you see the flash of reflected sun on the horizon. Now that you know it's there and how far off course it is, you could ignore it and continue towards the coordinate. But if you're right about the artifact causing this loop, maybe you should check it out. Again. No, I think we're going to bypass it for right now. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get us some extra air. Bypassing takes 20 seconds. And we're still going to be at water 3.5. Okay. So we're bypassing this time. At some point, I think we will head back just to check it out. Make sure there's nothing else there. Okay, so we're going to follow the coordinates again. We're down to 1 minute and 42 because we had already done this much of it. It goes faster during this part, so you'll see 1.2 speed for the next 1 point whatever minutes, which makes sense. If you've already been familiar with a certain part of it, it'll be faster for just that part, but then you'll have to go fresh again. All right, let's get another air tank. 3 minutes. Okay, I don't think we're going to do air anymore for a while. Well, maybe we will, because that's not that much more than our water. Oh, it is now. Okay, we're going to skip on air for right now until we get some of this done. We've got to get to this next place before we're collapsing. We got 1:07. Ooh, we only have about 1.5 minutes of water. But the nice thing is, we do this more and more, get faster and faster. So let's see what we got going on. Okay. Yep. You can definitely hear the Jeopardy theme song. Okay. Let's just keep going. We're not going to waste time on doing air when we have more than enough right now. Okay. At the crest of the steady hill, you're finally able to look down into the following valley and the target of the coordinates you've been trying to reach, another terraforming facility. Despite being the same type as the one you left, this one looks different, very different, having been heavily and haphazardly modified. You can barely even make out the name Lorien Station on the outer wall. You'll have to get closer to learn more. We've got something in here. Oh, that just shows it now. We now know what it's called. We know exactly where it is. So let's approach. That's going to take 45 seconds. Ooh, we're cutting it close on the water. Maybe if we're lucky, we can find some water and then some air. We'll see. Getting ready to use our last air tank. But, I mean, we still have 2.5 minutes of it compared to a little over a minute of water. Hopefully, we can find some water. Come on, come on, come on. Right, driving carefully to avoid the numerous hastily built structures around the base of the station, you're able to get a closer look at them. They seem to be exceedingly basic habitats, many of them already showing signs of depressurization, despite only being a few weeks old. None seem to be occupied. Okay, so let's go to our notes. Go to Lorien. Following the coordinates, found it. Given how similar they are, or at least it used to look, the outside has been heavily and hastily modified. Still no sign of anyone moving around, though. Have they already moved from here, too? Where did everybody go? It's talking about the damage, strange artifact, and that it also seems to be abandoned. Where did they go from there? All right, so we still don't know what's happened to anybody. So the only thing we can do is open the vehicle bay, and we're down to 35, 40 seconds after this is done. Yeah, about 40 seconds. Okay. Well, all the vehicles are able to connect with any nearby facility, allowing them to remotely control and run diagnostics on some systems, including the vehicle bay doors. Yet, for some reason, you can't connect to this facility at all. The only reasons you can think of are that the short-range comms are down, or that all the power is down, including the backups. Either way, you're going to have to leave the rover for now and use the personal airlock. Okay, leave the rover. Maybe we can find water? Oh, wow. Okay, so we can explore well, we definitely can't do that. We don't even have a minute. Uh, distant facilities. Looks like they might have been used for storage and work rather than living in, so there might be useful tools or information in them, but they are spread out over a pretty large area to try and cover on foot. Explore nearby support facilities. There were obviously a lot of people living in the modified support surrounding them. There might still be supplies among them. Okay, that's our best bet so far. Maybe if you take a closer look at the drills, you'll be able to pin down what seems wrong about the support facilities. Open the personal airlock, easily usable by anyone, even in emergencies one way or another. You'll be able to get inside Lorien Station. I think the support facilities, first off, that's only the one-time thing, and we have time to do that and hopefully find some water in there. We don't know what we're getting into by just opening an airlock. It could be an empty facility that has no supplies whatsoever. This one, since there used to be a lot of people living in it, I would hope there'd be something left over, even if they're not there anymore. Okay, yes, we have food and water. Okay, all the buildings close to Lorien itself seemed to have had temporary living quarters built onto their existing structure. They were probably only barely airtight when they were built, with flex pipes carrying air from the main facility. Even after the short time they seem to have been standing, they're already starting to degrade, and most are no longer livable. You find several areas which look like they used to store supplies, but they've since been mostly emptied. A few missed scraps are all you find, the remainder presumably having been moved inside the base. While you're looking around, it occurs to you that a lot of these support facilities seem off in the same way the ones around Talos did. Maybe you should take a closer look at one of them when you have some free time. Yeah, like I have free time. All right, so let's take the water. Okay, that gets us what? Now we got a minute. I don't know if we should waste time getting food or not. I mean, it's only 4 seconds. I guess we should, in case we find more water, but not food. Okay, so now let's open the personal airlock. I don't think we have time to do either of these really, especially when it's just inspecting a drill. This might have bought us enough time to maybe find some water inside the other facility. Okay, since the controls on the airlock aren't responding either, you have to resort to the manual controls, slower and more hard work, but guaranteed to work. A small blast of air rushes out of the facility, and the airlock grinds slowly open. Okay, what do we got here? Some kind of notes. The makeshift building closest have been built as an additional living space. They must not have been able to fit everyone who evacuated here inside, but didn't have time to build anything properly. None of them are airtight anymore, if they ever were. Other than a few abandoned supplies, they have nothing of use. Okay, so let's enter the vehicle bay, because that's basically the only thing we can do to hope to get water. That's 20 seconds. Ooh, we're cutting it close. Cutting it close. Oh, but we're cutting it close on air, too. Let's see what we do. Be nice if the facility had air. Okay. Ooh, there is a little bit of air. A little bit of air. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, that's good. Okay. Manually cycling the airlock finally grants you access to the vehicle bay, but it's far from what you'd expected. It seems like someone set up a shanty town with dozens of tents and scrap metal cabins built around the vehicles stored there. And there are a lot of vehicles, far more than the normal complement, but it actually looks like there used to be several times more, with a huge open space just in front of the main doors. Judging by the emblems on them, they come from numerous different terraforming stations, including Talos. You're somewhat disappointed to realize that it seems just as deserted as everywhere else you've been so far. On top of that, the lack of lighting and slight stale smell in the air all but confirms that there's even less power here than there was at Talos when you first woke up. So we want to scavenge for water. It gives us one water pouch. Oh gosh, I don't know how much we're going to be able to get out of that, but we don't have much choice. I mean, we're desperate. We do have a little bit of air, which is nice. With the amount of junk cluttering the area, there's no way of knowing how many supplies are hidden around this area, but for now, at least, it seems you're able to find what you need. Okay. Well, we got some new notes. Inside Lorien itself are dozens of vehicles, all from different facilities. A shanty town of tents and temporary structures has been built up around them, with some supplies having been abandoned. Wow, sounds like whatever happened, it was quick. So I already did this. Why is it saying persistent? What are we going to run out of first? Okay, so let's get another water. Because exploring facility is going to take 45 seconds. Okay, we have water pouch. Do another one. We're up at over a minute now. Still got a couple of minutes here. Yeah, we definitely need this. And then we're going to need some food. I don't even know if we can keep any in reserve because of how fast it goes down. I mean, it's like we're barely making any progress getting water. Where are we at now? Still 2 minutes for the water. Okay, let's get another water. Scavenge for food. That's 8 seconds. Okay, we're up to a little over 2 minutes. You can only think of a few more places to check for abandoned water. Okay, so we're pretty much almost out. So, uh, yeah, we don't have time for that. So let's explore the facility. Okay, there we go. Okay, exploring the facility. Come on. Fortunately, we only have to do this once, but we're going to be running out of water in a minute and a half. So hopefully we find some more water. Okay, we did not. Although the general layout seems very familiar to the Talos facility, most of the rooms seem to have been repurposed to accommodate larger numbers of people than the designers ever intended. Meeting rooms became mess halls, decontamination rooms used as communal showers, all to support the people who were living in the vehicle bay. The doors to the upper floor and the administrator's office are in the same places, and only one door is completely unfamiliar to you. So there's an unfamiliar. There's 20. I think last time. If you can open it, you might be able to learn more about what happened here or where everybody went. So you have no idea where this would lead. Perhaps something in the area will tell you more. Door to the upper floor is the same as it was in Talos. If you can open it, you might be able to restore main power supply or at least the backups. Oh, that could be important. With the vehicles, we just can't do that. Now, yeah, it might have some useful components, but we just don't have the time for that. I can't risk that with 9 seconds left. We're still at water being the biggest thing. Okay, so let's power supply. That might be good. Let's try that. Fortunately, that's only 8 seconds. Getting down on the air now, too. Alright, you're pleasantly surprised to discover that the door leading to the upper floor of Lorien is wide open. Judging by the dents and scrapes marks on it, someone already forced it open. Okay, but that didn't help us a lot. Within the door open, standing out, you might as well go and check it out. Might get us back up to get water and food, though. Minute 21. Alright, well, we're going to tell it to explore the upper floor. Let's see. This is our best chance to get power or whatever back. Okay, you check on the cryopods first, but are unsurprised that all backup power for the few occupied ones have also failed, and their occupants are dead. Whether or not they were alive when they went into the pods is impossible to tell at this point. Seeing them lying there reminds you of your own awakening in an identical pod. Your knowledge tells you that while some memory loss is a fairly common side effect of the cryogenic process, it shouldn't be lasting this long. Even without the time loop, your memory should have returned by now. Every system you found on the upper floor is showing heavy signs of wear, which is hardly surprising given the number of people that we're apparently supporting. The air recycler is the best maintained and should keep running for quite some time, assuming you can keep it powered. Power will be the biggest issue, though, since the main reactor is completely unsalvageable, along with the food synthesizer and water recycler. Oh, lovely. The one useful thing that you do find is a control terminal, which will allow you to shut off the emergency systems. You're not sure yet if you'll be able to get any power into these systems, or if you even need to, but if you do, shutting down the emergency systems you don't need will allow you to save some of that power. Okay, we still are without a real supply of stuff. Okay, so what we got here? There are a lot of systems in Lorien that'll probably start drawing power the moment I restore power. Systems which I have no use for. Each time I restore power, I should make sure I shut down as many of these backup systems as I can to save what little I have. Okay. Ooh, we have no way of doing power right now. We're going to run out of water, so let's scavenge again. It doesn't look like it's given us any benefit on doing this because it's not doing a modified time. That gave us a little bit. We're a little over a minute. I mean, might as well get as much water as we can since we're going to be. Well, we're going to start getting it to where air is going to be. Oh, air is now the biggest thing. Okay, that's it. The last area you hadn't searched for water around here. All right, well now air is our biggest problem. We can't do that. That's not going to help. We might as well do inspect the unknown door. Maybe if we're lucky it leads somewhere that has water or air. I mean, I guess we could exit the Lauren facility, go back into our rover and get air, but without more water, that's not going to help us that much. I mean, we have a little over a minute with that, or 36 seconds with that. Okay, the door is marked as leading to the mining wing, but this clearly isn't a mining facility. Everything from the layout to the systems indicate this is nothing more or less than Talos was, a terraforming facility. There shouldn't be any mining equipment here. So where could this door lead? It's a heavy blast door, so you'll need to provide it with power if you want to open it. Okay, rover resources, unavailable. So there is power there. Now we show power in the rover. Without power, exploring parts of the Florian is proving difficult. Even if I can't restore the main generator, perhaps there's another way I can solve the problem. There was a generator in Talos's vehicle bay. It should be enough to at least restore some power here. Or, if I only need a very small amount of power, I could take a cell from my rover and transfer it into Lorien. It definitely won't last long, but might be enough for me to do something. Ah, that's why it's showing us the power in here now. Okay. Well, we can't do this because we don't have any power. Okay. Well, I guess exit. We'll get a little bit more air because once that's gone, we're gone. And this is already going to take quite a bit of it. And then we don't have much more for the water. I'll see what we can do before we respawn. Prestige, we awaken, go through the loop again, whatever we want to call it. I guess restart the loop. Okay. Maybe. Okay, we can return to the rover. Maybe. Ooh, we're getting tight on that air. All right. Let's see if we can get air tanks. I don't know if that's gonna help much. Maybe. Okay, now we're gonna be at water. So let's kill this now. Kill it. Thank you. Leave rover. Got that 20 seconds. Let's try and do one of these to at least get some time in it. So it can be faster next time. Do 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 do. All right. Almost done. Okay. Wake up. So we ran out of water in 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay, so it says you finally reached the coordinates. There's a whole nother terraform facility. You might even be able to work out a faster route now. This is definitely a big step in the right direction, and you're certain you can learn more next time. All right. So here we go. Open the cryopod. You awaken in the cryo sleep pod. The chill you feel in the bones is almost starting to be a comfort to you. It's a reminder that you've been given another chance to get things right. The rush of warm, stale air reminds you that you need to fetch the emergency suit before you'll taste fresh air again. Now that you know you really are in a time loop, you won't bother searching the entire facility again. Instead, you'll go straight for the water you know you need. Okay. And what we got here? Artifacts, time artifact. I found a derelict rover which looked like it had been there for decades, perhaps longer. Inside was a bizarre object. Okay, this is kind of the same stuff we went over. Maybe it just changed some of the text down layer. Every time I die, I wake up back in the cryopod. Thankfully, it has affected the PDA too, so I don't have to retype these notes every time. Huh. Okay. Well, so drink small water bottle. Yep. Okay. There we go. So we've got combined actions, which still doesn't have a whole lot there yet. So let's go ahead and take small water, extract water bottle, which we'll do 5. There we go. And actually, we should have done those first so we had these in reserve, I think. But that's okay. Oh, it's the same thing as taking it. Okay, whatever. So we'll repair the generator first. There we go. And then after that, we can lift lockdown. Then we should be able to get the food synthesizer going. All right. As you quickly down the bottle of water, you consider your next move. There's no doubt at this point you've stuck in a time loop, but even as you assume it's due to the artifact you touch, it still leaves a lot of unanswered questions. On the upside, it seems like you'll be able to find all the answers sooner or later, so long as you don't give up. You made it to the coordinates and learned there's another facility there, Larian. There's definitely more for you to explore and learn there. You just have to get there faster. Yet also need to be better prepared for the challenges you find there. Okay, you start to feel the creeping pangs of hunger, deep thrumming rumbles, food synthesizers powered on. Okay, we're good on that. Oh, we can inspect the rover charger. Now that you're more aware of the rover's power limitations, it occurs to you that you may need to recharge it at some point. You should check the equipment required for doing so. Oh, okay, well, let's get the emergency suit first. Oh, look at Talos. Look at the power level. Oh, interesting. So that's from the generator. So if I take this, do we have no more generator, or is this a different generator? Well, whichever. Right now, let's take water. Boonk. Synthesize the food. Take air. And we can... Wait a minute. You remember the password. Okay. That just shows that it takes power. It takes 0.1 power. Big deal. This is producing 150. Okay. We're almost out. Now we're going to start running out of air, which, yeah, a little over 8 minutes. Okay. So once that's done, let's unlock the door because it only takes 5 seconds because we'd already saved the password. We're going to take the small bottle. We'll extract 2 more because that'll give us reserves. We'll do food and water. Thankful that you saved the password to your PDA last time, you quickly type it in and the door opens. You already know what's on the computer, but the stash of protein bars in the desk should come in handy. Yes, they will, and we will do that. In fact, we can even put that on the queue to do next. We haven't done this yet, so I want to do this one. Let's do that, because that's interesting. I don't remember ever seeing power at Talos before, like in the demo. I don't remember that ever being a thing. Maybe we take this generator, it takes this away now? We'll see. Unfortunately, it seems the equipment responsible for converting the facility's power into a safe form for the rover's power cells have been scavenged for parts. You'll have to find some other place to charge the rover. Okay, that's fine. What do we got now? We need to take the non-essential couplers. Fix the life support on the rover. After that's done, let's go ahead and do water and food. And then we'll repair the rover power supply or power system. Okay, we're going to repair the rover power system. And then we might as well do water and food again. Fortunately, even though you tell it 5, it kicks out when it's hit the max. So I don't have to waste time trying to think the exact number to put in there. Okay. And then we will probably do sheets. And then we'll repair the hull. The rover hums to life as you around you as you connect the final power coupler. Yep, same as before. Okay, after this is done, we'll do some water and food again. And then we'll do 5 more sheets and repair again. Okay. Then we'll do some water and food, and we'll do 5 more sheets and repair the hull for the last time. I can't wait till it combines those into one. That'll be nice. Okay, so now we show all the rover resources, like the air and the power. Because now, we can remove a full power cell from the rover. Remove one of the power cells which powers all the rover systems. With the tools in the area, you should be able to remove it much faster. Aha! So that only takes 10 seconds because of the tools we have around. Maybe it takes longer if we are in the rover or at the other facility. Okay, so we're going to do water and food again. You barely bother to check the pressure gauge as you seal the final hole in the hull. Okay. Let's try filling the cabin with air. With a little creative engineering, you think you can trick the sensor designed to prevent the recycler from releasing air until a bottle is attached to the nozzle. If you're right, you could vent air straight into the rover's cabin rather than having to fiddle with the air tanks. It won't help you outside the rover, but it might make air management a bit easier when you're traveling. Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be nice. It's only 10 seconds. Go for it. Load generator on rover. That's another 10 seconds. It might be a tight fit, but you should be able to load a mobile generator. Okay, so that's not this generator. A mobile generator onto the rover. At least with the rover airlock open, you don't have to worry about the cycle time. Okay. What do we got now? Yeah, let's load. Oh, what do we have here? You figured out a very quick way to trick the sensor, releasing a short burst of fresh air into the cabin. It'll definitely be faster than filling air tanks, but while the holes in the hull are patched, they're likely not fully airtight. You might lose a bit of air by using this method, but if the recycler's tank is full, it'd only be wasted anyway. Huh, nice. Okay, so we're going to load the generator. And I remember, maybe each of these is a power cell? If so, we did have over 100 when we got there, which means we could do without one thing. Takes up most of the rear compartment, but you're just about able to fit the mobile generator from the workshop in the rover. You could hardwire it into the rover systems to generate power on the move, or you could unload it somewhere else to provide power another facility. Not that you've actually found any fuel for it yet. True. Yeah, okay, so it takes fuel. We'll have to find fuel, I guess. Okay, so we don't want to install it, I don't think, because we were wanting to use it for that facility. Although at some point we might. Okay, the rover doesn't have room for more air right now because it's still in the facility. Okay. What else have we got that we need to do? I guess that's it, but let's do the right click on this, which is that symbol showing it'll do it right up till the end, and then let's get food and water. So we're going to do water and food. Okay. And then, oh, remove a full power cell. Let's do that in case we need that, because we don't even know where any fuel is for that generator yet. We may not even be able to find it yet. We may have to scavenge the facility to find it. Okay. All right. Let's go. Well, we can park the view. Okay, after checking the river... What's this? Oh, it occurs to you all this time you've been prioritizing which supplies to use based on what's available in the moment. After all, why would you drink small water bottles when you have so many water pouches lying around? But just because there are lots of pouches here doesn't mean there'll necessarily be lots everywhere. It might be worth putting a bit more thought into what you use and when. Okay, this is when you can prioritize stuff. Okay, got it. Okay, you can now change consumption priorities on the inventory panel. By default, manually set priorities will reset when you loop. This can be changed from the options menu. Okay. After checking the rover systems and your stockpile of food and water, you leave Talos station behind again. Settling in for a long journey you're getting all too used to. You stare out the slowly passing, lifeless landscape, idly wondering what new mysteries you might uncover this time. Okay. So the combined action is drive. Let's go for it. 1 minute remaining. We'll see where we go. Twenty seconds. Oh, I need to fill the cabin with air. Shoot, I wasn't paying attention. So this does 2.5 each time. Oh, and it disables when you can't use it. Okay. Ooh, I gotta be watching this. Because there's also a cooldown on it. We don't want to get caught behind, then we'll never get caught back up. All right, now what? Head for derelict rover. I'm half tempted to do that, just so we can see what else is there. But I took out a power cell, so I don't want to do it this time. Let's do it next time if we find fuel for the generator, because then we know we can do that and not pull out the power cell, so we'd have hopefully enough power to get there. All right, so what is this combined? Bypass, drive, approach. Okay, looks good. Be ready to fill the cabin with air again. There we go. And what are we looking at? Water in almost 4 minutes. Yeah, we're doing good so far. Although it's 2 minutes for that, so we're only going to have it at 2 minutes, but we have gained some, so that's good. Because, yeah, I mean, we've dropped almost a whole minute off of our time to get there. Okay, let's fill. So you got almost 2 minutes. Another air. Yeah, we're definitely going down on how many cooldowns because of how quick it goes down compared to how quick we can redo it. That's okay. We'll be over there, I think, before then. We're down about 3 minutes. A little less than 3 minutes on water. Okay, still going. Fill the cabin. Fill it again. Yep, we're getting to where the cooldown's not quick enough. Okay, we're at the bypass, I guess. Yep. You reach the top of the hill overlooking Lorien again, hoping you'll be able to learn more this time. I hope so. Then we gotta figure out what we're gonna do over there. I mean, I guess we need to use the power cell to maybe open up some doors, find out what's going on. Maybe we can find some fuel. Oh, into the cabin air. Finishing up. There we go. Okay, what do we got now? You weave in between the ragged structures around the station faster this time, keeping an eye out for any that might warrant a closer look. You do spot one or two promising candidates, so it might be worth checking them out. Oh, really? You could unload the generator here, freeing up the rover's rear compartment. Well, we haven't found fuel yet, so I'm not sure that's worth it. So let's leave. It said it's worth checking out some stuff, so let's do that. Okay, now, take the water, take the food. I've only got a minute 41. Maybe we inspect the drill real quick. Maybe it's got some fuel. I don't know. We only have to do it once. I was half tempted. After that happens, I think we'll go inside if we don't find anything because we need to use the power cell and everything. I don't want to waste the whole cycle on just these two things, even if they are persistent. We're going down our air tanks too. Okay, 4 seconds. Boom. These compact laser drilling platforms are one of the most important parts of the early stages. Terraforming release the underground pockets of gases which become the basis of the new atmosphere. As far as you can tell, this one is working perfectly, or at least was, right up until the main power went out. A couple of small holes show where it had drilled previously, with one of them still providing a light breeze as the gas continues to steadily escape. Perhaps you'll learn more from similar structures near Talos. Oh, maybe that just gave us insight to those. Okay, so anyway, we're going to enter the Lorien facility. Oh gosh, that takes forever, doesn't it? Oh, we didn't gain hardly any time on that. I guess there's only so fast you can do a manual override of an airlock. An airlock takes what it takes. You might be faster at starting it or something, or getting in, but you can't make faster the process. Okay, makes sense. Oh, here we go. So we can take the water without having to scavenge it now, which now is 1 second or 0.8 seconds compared to 8. Oh, that's nice. Okay. That's nice. I don't want to transfer from the cell yet. Let's take water. And we're going to do this in order to get these done with. That way we can do them super fast next time, that's for sure. Okay, well, we'll have to do more than that. But for right now, inspect the admin door. Let's go ahead and do everything we can before we do the power, because I have a feeling if we do the power, it may drain fast, and I don't want to waste it. I wish this wasn't 8 seconds each. It means to do all of them, we're looking at over a minute. I don't know if that's worth it right now. Okay. What is this? Just like at Talos, the door to the administrator's office has been locked with a code, and you're not sure if the Talos admin code will work here. It looks like you'll need to either force it open or find a way to restore power and check the code, likely ending with you having to crack this password too. Okay, PDA, notes, or I can just hit in. The personnel from Talos evacuated to another facility called Lorien, a time artifact. It seems like evacuees from several other facilities all ended up there, but then left. I've yet to find any indication of where they headed next. Okay. What are we going to run out of first? Water. Okay, transfer power from cell. Let's just go ahead and do it. Hack the... Oh, 3 minutes! Are you crazy? Okay, as you make the final connection, the emergency lights throughout the facility flicker to life, and you hear a faint whirring of other systems starting up. Even with it only running the backup systems, the power from this cell won't last long, so you better head upstairs and disable the unhelpful ones before they drain too much. Oh, shut off emergency systems. There we go. It takes 15 seconds, and we've got... Oh! Wow, look at all that. Not good. Not good. We're not going to have much power at all. What happens when we turn this off? Oh, now it's down to 0.2. That's a huge thing. You quickly shut down all the backup systems you can. Some, like the air recycler running on minimum power, are practically hardwired, so you can't do anything about them, but it's still very reassuring to see the power drain rapidly dropping to a less concerning level. Oh, yes. We don't want to hack. Force would take 38 seconds. We've got that time. Plus, we can go ahead and get the last water. Now we have more time. So let's force. Wow. Definitely seems to take a long time, doesn't it? Dooba 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 doo. All right. 9 seconds. Go. There we go. All right, so we've got Explore. Like most of Lorien, the admin office is a bit more chaotic. It may take a bit of time to thoroughly search. Well, I mean, it's only 15 seconds. We only have to do it once. And we're not going to run out of air for a while, but we have no more water, so we've got to find water. Okay, great. We got protein bars, but no water. Much like the rest of the facility, this room shows heavy signs of supporting far more people than it should. 3 temporary desks were set up alongside the regular one, and 2 piles of blankets look like makeshift beds behind them. There's another box of the seemingly standard protein bars in the desk, but most of the focus is on the computers. They'll only work so long as the power holds out, but there could be some useful information in there. There could, but that's 40 seconds. Scavenge for food. Yeah, that's not going to help me because I'm going to run out of water. Logs. So I don't have enough time. Yeah, I do. I have enough time to do the vehicles. Well, they were used for housing people, so maybe there'll be some water found. Let's find out. All right. 1 minute. Still down to 2 minutes on water. Yeah. Yep. Well, nice thing is these we don't have to do but once. That's going to help us in each cycle as we keep going. 20 seconds. I can definitely see some slight differences that I don't remember seeing in the demo. I mean, definitely these bars. That's nice. But also some of the story kind of changed a little bit too. I don't remember there being a generator at Talos. And also, I don't remember you being able to inspect the rover charger at Talos. So some things are definitely changing, so I'm anxious to see what happens. Okay, with the number of vehicles and the amount of junk built up around them, it took you quite a long time to check them all. Unfortunately, they seem to have been stripped of most useful components and certainly won't be viable replacements for your rover. The only items of note you find are a water recycler you could use to replace the rover's damaged one, and a handwritten diary left in one of the tents. Oh, water recycler. It's pretty bulky and will take some of the space in the rear compartment, but if you can get it through the personnel airlock and back to your rover, you should be able to get the water recycling system back up and running. At least the airlock is powered, so you don't have to manually cycle it. Oh, okay. So we only have protein bars. Oh, we're down to 1 minute now. Read diary, 45 seconds, 40 seconds. Let's try this because at least then we can get some water, maybe? Maybe? I'm guessing we have to move the generator out of the back, though, before we can put this one in. But let's find out. At this point, we ain't got much to lose because this other stuff would basically just waste our time. We cannot load this because the mobile generator's in there. So return to rover. So unload generator. There we go. Ooh, we're gonna be cutting it close, aren't we? Fill cabin with air. Fill cabin with air. Okay. Load water recycler on rover. But now we can also enter the Lorien facility, which is nice because Lorien has power, I guess. Okay. Ooh, we're gonna run out of water. 17 seconds. Install. Ooh, we're gonna be cutting it super close, aren't we? Hopefully we can get some water out of this and we can keep going. Fill water bottle. Oh, it's going to take 35 seconds for it to get a water bottle. Yep, we're dead. Okay, well, now we know. That definitely was not worth it this time. It takes 35 seconds for that to happen. What we got here in the notes? All the vehicles have been thoroughly stripped of parts, but one of the rovers had its water recycler left behind. Should be able to reinstall it in my rover or hook it up to Lorien's power systems if I only need to use it here. Well, I don't remember seeing that as an option. Ah, jeez. Okay, well, we know that now. All right, so we've got like 7 seconds. Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. Let's just loop. A pre-loop save will be made, but any other autosaves may be auto-written. Yes, that's fine. Wake up. Okay, let's open the cryopod. So even though we did less time, 15 minutes this time, we actually got more done. Okay, you're also surprised, rush airfront error. You've only woken up here 4 times, but you're already pulling the release lever without really thinking about it. Okay, so guys, what we're going to do is we're going to call this episode. We're getting now more combined actions, like I was saying, where we can repair the upper floor, which is repair the main generator, and lift the lockdown, which is nice because it saves us from doing a lot of manual stuff. But we're going to call this episode, and I will see you in the next video. Bubba out.